update from the Power Path. This comes from lenastevens of the Power Path. She is the co-founder of the Power Path with her husband Jose, and you can find them at thepowerpath.com. She puts out the moon updates every couple of weeks, and they're highly intuitive, and they always seem to resonate with me. And I've been actually following them for years, and I had the pleasure of going out to New Mexico and training with the Power Path. I've spent a lot of time with them. They're wonderful people, wonderful wisdom, and their website, thepowerpath.com, has a lot of different types of offerings you might want to check out. So here's what Lena had to say about the Taurus new moon and solar eclipse. Said, the new moon in Taurus and partial solar eclipse is Saturday, April 30th at 2:28 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. This new moon eclipse begins a cycle of review, reevaluation, and action toward necessary endings, beginnings, and change. It is a potent time to look at your relationship to your comfort, security, resources, support, values, and self-esteem. What is most familiar to you may not be the most supportive, and what you thought was your security may come into question. It is important to set yourself up in a good way to work with the challenges and the opportunities of this eclipse cycle, which ends with the full moon, as I mentioned, coming up with the total lunar eclipse on May 15th, 16th, that Scorpio full moon. Take some time to evaluate what you have, what you don't have, what you need, and what you don't need. What gives you true security and what nurtures you and feeds your self-esteem. A relationship with anything that does not feel supportive needs to be addressed and changed. Look at what is in your life that you thought would make you happy that does not. Allow change without judgment, and focus on bringing in more of what you truly value instead of needs and desires you were imprinted with. Watch addictions during this time, as they represent the false comfort of negative aspects of the ego and personality. This new moon also opens for us the theme of needing to come into more balance in our lives. What is out of balance? What small thought can you focus on during this moon to begin to bring in a bit more balance and grounding? Change is here whether we like it or not, and it is being fed and stimulated by a need for action. Beware of over-asserting yourself or overreacting in a negative way. Then when clarity comes, it is time to act, and act with certainty and confidence despite any judgments from others. This is a powerful time where you can truly begin a new cycle in your life. Don't waste it by getting bogged down by stubbornness, fear, and ambivalence. If you don't know what you want, start with what you don't want and go from there. Beautiful wisdom in that. And I'm absolutely feeling that message as well. And around that, I'll share with you one other thing before we close. So I also love to follow an astrologer who I found on YouTube, a woman named Pam Gregory. She's British, and she broadcasts from the UK on YouTube, and she gives wonderful updates as well. And something that she shared really resonated, and I think it's what Lena's saying as well, and kind of what I said earlier as well. As we have this opportunity of this Taurus new moon supported by this solar eclipse, solar eclipses being intense and powerful portals for change, but perhaps a little milder than lunar eclipses, which can be, a lot more emotional. And new moons as well, great times for new beginnings, new starts, fresh, clean slates. In order to support that, what Pam Gregory was talking about, she had taken a martial arts class. She said they were learning how to break the boards, and you know how you see them chop the boards and the board breaks. And she said that the key to that, to not hurt your hand in the process, is you're not going to focus on the board. You're not going to focus on where your hand is going to hit the board. You actually focus every bit of your energy and attention 6 inches below the board, where your hand's going to end up after it's already gone through the board. And so that can be a wonderful analogy for where we're at this time in our lives. If it feels like, you know, there are energies around us or old habits or addictions coming up that are maybe the ego or the personality trying to grab onto us, or friends who are maybe in a lower vibration trying to pull us with them down into that rabbit hole, perhaps rather than get bogged down or get depressed or get bummed with what's happening in the world that might not be so great at the moment, what do you want it to be? What is your new beginning? Your imagination is your most powerful tool. Can you tap into your heart space, the power of your intention, the power of your imagination, and imagine the best scenario rather than the worst scenario? Can you look beyond that board that might look like it's blocking your way, like it's some sort of an obstacle? And can you look beyond to where you're going, where you're getting to, and focus on that? So focus on what's beyond, focus on where you're going, not on what's standing in your way. And instead, maybe work backwards and think about steps you can take to start to get you there. And perhaps, getting out into nature, growing your own food, taking some time to start a project. Maybe you've thought about writing a book. Maybe you've wanted to make some music. Maybe you've wanted to learn to paint. Something creative is calling to you. Maybe all of the above. Embrace your creativity right now. It'll bring you into a higher vibration. Embrace things you're passionate about right now to bring you in a higher vibration, and surround yourself with people who inspire you and support you and bring you into that higher vibration. This is all totally supported by this Taurus new moon and partial solar eclipse.